Welcome to the Smart Influencer Podcast. I'm Corinne,
And I'm Christina.
and together we help digital entrepreneurs streamline their businesses, maximize revenue, and finally feel in control of their time.
Every week, we share real world strategies, proven systems, and expert interviews to help you grow your influence and income without the burnout. So, if you're ready to get smarter about how you run your business, you are in the right place.
So, today, before we get started, if you love what you hear, be sure to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you find today's conversation helpful, please share it with a friend who could use it too.
Yeah, so today, Corinne and I are going to do another peek behind the curtain, so to speak, and we're going to talk about what we love about you, our listeners. So, over the course of time now, we've gotten a lot of feedback from people, and we thought we would just talk about what our audience is telling us and encourage you to keep talking to us. Because I'm
Yes.
going to be honest, Corinne, when we are on these recording our episodes, I feel like I'm just on a Zoom talking to you. Like, I
Yes.
don't feel like the whole world, it's recorded for like the world to be able to like listen in
Right.
on.
Yeah.
It's just like you and me and maybe a guest, and
Which
it's
is
just
when
us.
these finally make it to YouTube, you guys will see that because we definitely show up as if like no one else was going to see.
Nobody's watching. What I saw it described as like I'm totally like a Zoom mullet. Business on top, party on the bottom. Because I always have it's summer and I've got my flannel blankie on my lap.
I know you guys always keep that house super cool. I have yet to be to at Christina's house, but we talk about it often enough, and I can see her shivering while we're on Zoom sometimes. I know it is always cold at Christina's house.
No, I think it's just me. I think I'm just always cold. But we've been so lucky. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, first of all, um, you're probably only a couple episodes in, but we actually have over 200 podcast episodes available. So go check us out on your favorite podcast player, and listen to our back episodes. There's some really good stuff in the library back there.
Yeah.
But we've been around for quite some time, and we've been blessed to have a lot of feedback coming in from our listeners. I was just at a conference a few months ago, and somebody came up to me. They're like, I would know your voice anywhere. And it's like, she's like, I know you from the podcast. You're from the Smart Influencer podcast, right? And I'm like, yes, yes, I am.
I remember you came back and told me that, and I was so surprised because I still in my mind like it's our like handful of friends that listen, or like I
Yeah.
forget other people stumble upon it. So,
It's like when you have your blog and you think only your mother's reading
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we have been very blessed too that in our friend group that, thanks to all of you that still continue to listen to us.
Yes.
Yeah, in our friend group, like we've got some candid friends, which is like Christine and I
Yeah.
have talked about that too, I think before, but I'd always prefer that. Like I've always just felt like in my family we joke that I've got a touch of the tism, right? Like I we took an autism test at one point and I scored like very much on the spectrum, even though
Get out.
I'm not diagnosed or anything. And I don't mean that to be offensive to anyone, but I definitely miss social cues. Like that has been a problem of mine. And so, yeah, I feel like sometimes like I'm kind of out of touch with like I don't know how things are going to land and so I love that feedback when we get like,
Yeah.
this is how that's hitting with us and it doesn't really hurt my feelings because we wouldn't be showing up every day if we weren't actually trying to do something helpful.
Yeah.
So
We're trying to do good.
yeah.
And I think
So yeah, I'd
you
rather
put
hear
it
it
the
straight.
Yeah. And you put it the best. Like you've said this before. You're like, I'd rather hear bad news from a friend than from a
Absolutely.
stranger. So it's always nice when our friends, kind of guide us in a different direction.
Yeah.
But on the positive side, we've gotten some great feedback. And I think one of my favorite comments that I've heard was one of our friends said that when she listens to our episode, she feels like she's listening in on you and I chatting with somebody. So we have a guest and we're just chatting with them. She's like, I feel like I'm just kind of listening in on that. Like it's not an interview, so to speak. And we don't do interview style.
Yeah.
We don't go in with a set of questions. We just kind of give us your topic and let's just talk about it. And we're going to hit you and pepper you with the questions that pop into our head as they're popping into our head.
Yeah.
And I was glad to hear that feedback because that's kind of what we were going for, that laid back, that casual, real world conversation.
The hotel lobby. I mean, we've
Yeah.
referenced that a lot, but that was like really how Christina and I met. We met at a conference, just in between, like actually we got there early, but like that concept of like best some of
Yeah.
the best stuff that happens at conferences is in the hotel lobby or in between the sessions when you
Right.
really get to connect with people, and that's when they're sharing all their like little nuggets of wisdom that didn't seem like it was worth a whole session, but they're really the small little pieces that move people forward. So like yeah, I
Yeah.
loved that we got that feedback because that is really like what we were going for.
Right.
Um,
And I think we're going for that too with the guests that we like to have onto the show. Like when we did our What's Working Now segment, I mean, I think that that landed with people because so many of us feel like we have imposter syndrome, right? Like I don't have anything to share with the world. I'm not doing anything spectacular over here. But like I do have this one thing that's kind of working for me. And like we want to hear about that one thing.
right,
Because that one little thing might be big to me or to you or to somebody else. So
right.
we'd love to hear about those little things because those little things often lead to big things.
Well, and I think that is the thing too. And like there's so much information in what we do and about what we do, and it's all flying around. And so, I mean, I always assume when I see something, of course, like it got to me somehow. Like I'm very rarely discovering these on my own, right? Like, so I see it in a group and I assume everybody in the group has seen it. And so, like, you just think that everybody already has the same information you do, but we can only be in, like, as a person, you can only be in one place at a time. So, and
Right.
only looking at one thing at a time. So
Yeah.
you were in a different place looking at something different when, I was here looking at that. And so that, I don't know, that sharing of these little tidbits and putting it all together
Yeah.
into a master file, I think there's like a great power in that.
Yeah. And that's what we love about our listeners. We love how open you are and willing to share that information. And I think that's one of the greatest things about this industry. Any other industry in the world, there's all these trade secrets, and nobody's going to tell you like the secret sauce to their pizza. Like
Right.
in our town, there's pizza everywhere you go. It's like the pizza capital of the world. Nobody's going to tell you what their secret sauce is. In this industry, I can't wait to tell you what my secret sauce
Right.
is and what I just figured out and how I cracked the code because
Yeah.
maybe it can help you. And then you're going to take that little nugget that I've given you and you might go in a different direction and make it even better. It's that synergy.
Right. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Because it's not like if somebody's on the internet and they're looking for a recipe, like that they're only going to cook that one meal.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. Or if they're traveling, they're only going to travel to the one place. Or even if they go to the same place all the time, they're at
Right.
different stages in their life. So, like the travel blogger that's writing for like traveling with children and the person that's traveling like as a retiree, like
Yeah.
the same visitor can find you, right? Like, and
Yeah.
learn from the content that you have. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a big sea for all of us to swim in. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that is it's my favorite thing about our guests that
Yeah.
all of our guests come with that, like wanting to share and wanting to make our space a more
Right.
positive, more successful place.
So open. Yeah, I
Mhm.
love that. I absolutely love that. I also love to hear like when I run into people either in person or somebody sends us an email or a message, I love to hear what you want to hear about because
Yes,
so many times Corinne and I are like, "Oh, what are we going to talk about today?" Like we need ideas. Like you know how it is. Like when you've done something for a long time, you just like when you start, you're like, "You got all these ideas." Well, the well is running dry. And it gets tough when you're in it to be coming up with content ideas. So we love to hear what you want to know about.
right. Well, for example, these episodes that are just the two of us, this was thanks to listener feedback.
Yeah,
Because before we thought, well, we've kind of talked about everything that we feel really confident about and want to
yeah,
share. So like we should be booking more guests. And we heard from a couple people, like we like the banter. We like to hear what you guys are doing right
yeah,
now, what tools you're using, like what you're doing with Airtable.
yeah.
Like, we are both a little systems obsessed. So, like, what system are you trying, or how's it working, or how have you refined
Mhm.
it? And that really, just frankly, never would have occurred to us that anybody was interested
I know,
in.
like nobody wants to listen to me talk. But let's start a podcast. Oh wait, let's start two podcasts. Yeah. So it's yeah, it definitely like so many things we do come from feedback from you guys. Even when we did the What's Working Now, that kind of came out of feedback from listeners just wanting to know, like just hearing, one topic from a couple of different people, like responses from a couple of different people. So but that's when we did those episodes. I think it was last summer. So
Yeah.
that's like a year now. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too was when we were reaching out to people to be guests, people were like, I don't know that I could talk for a full half hour on, I don't have anything that I feel like is worth talking about for half
Yeah.
an hour, but we knew they had some things they were doing that were really impressive. We're like, could you talk for 10 minutes? Because, that would be
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
And we did.
And
Those are some of my favorite episodes. Like I feel like really impactful in terms of
yeah,
what was in
impactful.
them.
Yeah. They were fun. They were a lot of fun.
Mhm.
So with that being said, though, we want to know. So definitely reach out to us. It's very isolating. Not that I don't love just talking to you, talking to you, Corinne, but it is very isolating when it's just, just the two of us and we feel like we're alone in this, big world. So definitely send us your feedback and let us know what you think, what you
Right.
want to know more about. If you have a guest that you think would be great, if you think you would be a great guest, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah, especially now. Like we've been talking about who to have on and who people will want to listen to. And like everywhere in the groups, I keep hearing like, I don't know that I trust anyone right now because nobody seems to know
Yeah.
what's going on. So like if you're not having that inkling and you're like, oh, well, I do feel like I'm rudderless, but I'd really love to hear from X because
Yeah.
I feel like they're making strides. Or even if you don't know who X is, but like I really want to hear from a food blogger who's succeeding right now, right? Like who somehow is getting better, more traffic now than they were last year.
Hmm.
Like, please let us know because we have no qualms approaching anyone. Like that's never been. We don't like to sell stuff, but we have no problem asking someone. Like, it's the worst they can
For
say is
free
no.
things.
Yeah. Will you come talk to us? So, we're happy to invite anyone here, but
Yeah.
ideally it'll be someone you guys want to listen to. So,
Yeah. So definitely keep the conversation going and reach out, let us know your thoughts and your feedback, and we'd love to hear from you. If you see us out at an event, please don't hesitate. We're both what we would call extroverted introverts, so
yeah,
we can handle ourselves in social situations, but we're probably a wallflower.
yeah, yeah. Very hard for me to approach a group of people.
Yeah,
So,
me too. So it's not that we feel like better than, just
oh,
definitely
definitely
approach us.
not. Definitely
Definitely
not
not.
that.
Definitely not. We're both a little introverted, so feel free to come up to us. We won't be socially awkward when you come up to us, we
And we
promise.
both have RBF, I think. I shouldn't say
Oh
that.
yeah.
I know I have it, so I've been told.
Yeah. So funny story. I'm gonna tell the story from
Okay.
so I went to Tastemaker. Now, my airport is so tiny. Like there's like three gates, but like one of them doesn't even count as a gate. And most of the time there's not even like the jet walks, like you literally go out onto the tarmac and up the little
Oh,
stairs.
wow.
So
Okay.
it's a little tiny airport. So I get there early because I'm like that. I just have to be early. And I'm sitting in the seat waiting, and you look around, there's like three other people. So of course, like I look around, I see the three people. Remember the faces, whatever. It's only three people. I can handle that. And so we get on the flight, we go to the next airport. I land, I go to the waiting area to get on to my next flight, and I see one of the people from my airport in that area. I'm like, huh, so this guy must be going to the same place I'm going. That's kind of neat. Like I recognize him,
Yeah.
didn't think a thing about it. Fast forward, we're walking through the Vegas airport and like we're going in the same direction, whatever. We get get to Tastemaker. I turn the corner and there's that guy at Tastemaker. So talk about being socially awkward. Walk up to him. I'm like, I have to ask you a question, and I'm not coming from a creeper perspective, but do you live in this area? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, the only reason I ask is because I saw you in our little airport on
Right.
this day. He's like, yeah. He was like, I saw you too. He goes, but you know what's different? I go, what? He goes, you're smiling now. He goes, I almost didn't
Oh,
recognize you.
that's funny.
Right? So I'm like, I think he just nicely told me I have resting bitch face.
That's funny.
So I'm like, okay. But I'm just like, What am I there to smile about? It's like, first of all, it's
Right.
the
You're at
butt
an
crack of dawn. I'm sitting in an airport. There's not really much to smile about. I'm like reading a book, trying to be awake. You know, I'm not a morning
yeah,
person.
I know.
So this is like all working against me. But it
I
was just funny because like that was my RBF
yeah,
story.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I barely recognized you. You're
Yeah,
smiling.
barely. Yeah, because you're smiling. You know, it's different. You're smiling.
Well, you know,
So
I've been
anyway,
obsessed with Vanessa Van Andrews and about like sending warmth cues and being competent and like being like she's got some good tips for reducing like introversion, anxiety. Um, and I'm trying to use them. But one of her things is like to study your face like at its neutral position to figure out like for me, I already knew that you have RBF and like to counteract that. So if your mouth automatically downturns, to practice sitting with it upturned. I have never felt so ridiculous in my life. I look crazy. So she's still brilliant. She's still brilliant, but this one I got to work on a little because the slate upturn just makes me look like some creeper. I've got Batman villains on my mind today, but yeah, like a creeper Batman villain. Like
yeah.
I don't
I
know.
get it. It's like when doing YouTube videos, like I'm stirring, like I'm not thinking about smiling. I'm just focused on the stir. And it's not really, I'm mad. I'm just focused on what I'm doing. I like, once I stop talking, I get in my head and like everything's happening in there. So yeah, so I'm stirring and I'm like, I'm sure I have RBF right now. And it's not what people want to look at on YouTube. So I'm like, I hope that whoever's editing this is cutting to the B-roll.
So this was a long way for us to say, dear audience, that
Yeah.
yes, we don't look approachable, but if you ever happen to see us in public, please do approach. We
No.
promise we're not mean. We are just really awkward.
Way to sell it, Corinne.
Again, touch of the tism over here.
And on that note,
So we love you
we
guys.
want,
Thank you so much for listening.
yeah.
We really do appreciate you because you are the reason we get to do something that we really love doing.
Right. And if you didn't get this so far, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
So make sure you either tag us on Instagram, send us an email. That's usually the easiest way. Shoot us an
Yeah.
email. We're old school here. And let us know what's going on, what you like, what you don't like, what you've learned from the show. We love hearing that. And yeah, we want to hear from you.
All right. So thank you for spending time with us today. We will be back next week with another episode to help you grow smarter, work less, and earn more. See you then.
Bye.